Coverage of tonight's game courtesy of the Aquafina Purity One light ship. With a little pure luck, you could be spotted by the light ship for a chance to win pure cash. There's a Hall of Famer in our midst, Tim McCarver, and he is on the mound, the Rocket, Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens, the last guy named to either club at the expense of Barry Zito. Joe, we were talking about it right before game time, how well Barry Zito handled that whole thing.
Yeah, before we talk about Clemens, how about in this day and age, a guy who won the Cy Young Award last year saying, I understand, I'm not upset, I just wish I had known, because it was an awkward time when he was told, basically getting to the ballpark, that he was no longer an all-star, and Clemens, because Zito pitched on Sunday, was going to take his spot.
That was the splitter. Lopez going after it. Roger Clemens, his last year after winning 300 3 weeks ago.
Defensive swing by Javi Lopez. He is number 3 on the all-time list in strikeouts. 301 career victories. And still, with the kind of season he's putting together this year, worthy. It's not just a goodbye wave. I mean, he is still effective and worthy of a spot on this all-star staff.
The numbers for Clemens, and the day after Roger won 300, we interviewed him in the Yankee dugout.
That makes it 2-2.
And I told him that if he did retire this year, and he appears set on retirement, that he would be the hardest throwing retired pitcher in America. And I stick by that.
Here's a 2-2. That's the third. Sounded like Lopez broke his bat. Gloss gets rid of it, and that's one out here in the third inning. Only one base runner so far for the National League. Tonight's Radio Shack trivia question is, who drove in the first run in All-Star Game history? Not who hit the first home run in All-Star Game history. Happened back in 1933. Just across the parking lot from here in Old Comiskey Park. Ruth is the answer to the home run question, but not the answer to the first RBI. Jose Vidro taps one foul right off what looks to be letterbox catcher cam.
That was the oddest swing. I think it knocked our catcher cam out for a second. Bottom hand came off the bat.
1 ball, 1 strike on Vidro, who's playing because of the mild concussion suffered by Marcus Giles this past weekend in the series here at Wrigley. Across town, 1 ball, 1 strike, and that's on the outside corner. Moyer warming up, and let's go back to Friday at Wrigley Field. Mark Prior and Marcus Giles. Prior banged up a bit. Giles with the concussion. He didn't play the rest of the series and isn't playing tonight. 2-2 on Vidro. You saw Prior the next day in the clubhouse. You said, all right, what hurts? You said nothing.
He said nothing. Marcus Giles, on the other hand, went to the hospital, was released that night, suited up Saturday and Sunday.
Vidro strikes out, and that's 2 up, 2 down against Roger Clemens. We've talked about it before. If Clemens wanted to go through an Eckersley type career change or a John Smoltz type career change, if he didn't want to start, and he's still an effective starter, you wonder how long he could pitch in those short bursts as a closer in the big leagues, but this is it.
Yep, of course, Smoltz was somewhat younger than Roger when he started relieving. Eckersley younger than either. The way he is throwing this year for the Yankees and Joe Torre, he shows no signs of letting up.
Philly fans will be happy that Wolf is coming in the game. That's a strike in at the knees to Renteria, who was career strikeout victim number 4,000. Took a picture with Roger the next afternoon with 4 fingers up, big smile on his face. Gets a piece in the count 1-2. We noticed an enormous weight off the shoulders of Roger Clemens that next afternoon after he won number 300 on that Friday night, and consequently the Yankees really took off after that point.
They were both relieved.
1-2 pitch. That's it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Clemens. Zip as far as offense so far. Bottom of the third inning.